Okay, today we're going to look at problems with the treadle and the backup. And you know there's a problem because when you look here on the light, you have two main things, treadle switch, and if that's lit up, you have a problem. So it's A15. And then the treadle inhibit is the eye that lets you know if there's a car block in the way, so it won't turn the wash on. And then backup bell, okay, that needs to be off. So the first thing you want to check is that make sure these are off. The next thing is that this is, just so you know how it all kind of works, this is your treadle right here. And when that's depressed, it sends a signal over to here and goes to this plate right here that has a pressure switch, and you can adjust the sensitivity of the switch. But that's actually mainly for the backup bell, I'm sorry. The treadle is what connects the these wires. And so here's how it's wired if you get lost. So the black is always wired together because that's your ground. So you wire, and you're actually wiring the treadle wire versus the backup bell kind of wire. And then the second thing is your white wires go together with the first red, which is the red kind of on the outside part of the switch away from the port. And then your colored wire, which is your main control wire, in this case is gray, but it can be different colors based on whatever wire they run. And that's your second one. And what happens is, so the first thing is when the treadle is hit, it activates this and sends the signal. The next thing, and you can see why there's two, is your backup bell. And the backup bell is this tube. If you see here, it's full of air. And what happens is whenever you run over this squishy tube, air is pushed through this port and makes these two connections right here. So the air is what connects these two, and that does your backup bell. So it's only one plate. This is just another plate, or excuse me, another connection of wires. But this is really the magic of the whole thing. And so that's on this left side, on the driver's side. Sorry, the bay is such a mess. On the right side, it's the same thing. So this is an older, I don't have my other plate, but you have to make sure this is tight, because if it's tight and the air is escaping, it won't go off. But same thing here. So your blacks are connected, which is your grounds. Your whites, this was white at one point, are all kind of connected with one side of the pressure switch, and then your colored wire, in this case, which is like an orange, is connected with the other side of the pressure switch. And so here's a great way to test that. What I do is, if you remember, the treadle light was off. So what I do is I get some chemical, and I come over here, and I set it on a treadle. Let's go back and look. It's easier with two people. So this should, now the treadle light should be on. And see, treadle light is now on. So now let's try the other treadle switch. Make sure they're both working. Now that's your backup bell. And see, remember I showed you how, so what happens is, see this squishy thing? So when you run over this, it pushes air all the way over to your pressure plate, and that's what sets off the backup bell. So it's all one plate. That's why if your backup bell keeps messing up, I would take the connectors off here and blow it out with some air and make sure it's not full of water, because that will keep any pressure from triggering that plate. All right, let's try the other one. Okay, that's the second one. And it should be lit up. And if it's lit up, we're good. I would switch those pressure plates out once every couple years because those get really bad. There we are. Treadle switch. That's how you do the repair.